All right, and we're back. Okay, so we did the easy stuff. It's COMP392, by the way. It's week 7, part 2, our broadcast here at Centennial. Before we left, we were kind of working on this project here in 3JS just to demonstrate what it would look like. By the way, what does it look like in Azure? It still looks like this in Azure, right? Because we haven't done any kind of GitHub work whatsoever. And I'm going to do that right here in Visual Studio Code. I've got 11 changes. I think this is a good place to kind of put it up there. So I'll say something like, I'll stage everything here in Visual Studio Code. By the way, when you do GitHub, I don't care how you do it, whether you do it with your Windows tool here in Visual Studio, if you're using Visual Studio 2013, 2015, whatever you're using, it's your tools. You use them the way you like them. I'm not going to test you on your tools, right? But let's say, for example, I want to say added basic primitives to the scene. That's what I added. I kind of did a bunch of stuff at once. I probably would have done more commits than that push. And now look, we're already into an hour. Like that, all that could have taken you an hour just to do all that. Like I took an hour, and I was telling you what to do. This could take you an hour if you don't know what you're doing. If I just gave you something to read, do this. Like here's instructions. Read and putting stuff up on with if I was to remove stuff and you were to put things back, right? So it may take you an hour, it may take you less. It could have taken you 40 minutes, to do things. I also did a bit of a review in the beginning of what I was expecting, but that's pretty good, right? So think about that time frame, half an hour or 40 minutes, you're probably done your basic geometry. Now here's the tough part to get the A, right? So I want you to help me out. Let's make use of this .GUI library. I want to make a button. This is the effect that I want, and here's the challenge now for you. This is the real part of the exam, right? Okay, and this is the hard part. I want you to make a button with your .GUI, right? That when I press it, right? As soon as I press it, it moves my tower down 0.1 units into the ground, which means negative y, right? That's what I want you to do per frame until it goes away, until it disappears. And I also want you to make another button that resets the position of that unit, stops it, doesn't make it move at all, back to where it was. Okay, that's it. Do it. Tell me what to do. Tell me where to start, right? Tell me where to start. What would I do first? First of all, what am I doing to the unit? What am I doing to this tower? I'm transforming it somehow. I'm translating it somehow. What am I doing it? I'm moving it on the X or the Y direction all the way down. I'm not asking you to rotate it or anything like that yet, right? I'm asking you just to move it down, right? So with the press of a button, you're going to move it down. Okay, cool. And the level, the speed that I'm going to ask you to do is 0.1. Does that seem high to you? 0.1, or is it 0.1 okay, right? Okay, but let's say it's okay. Let's say 0.1's okay, right? So if that's true, how do I translate this? So when I press the GUI control, here's my GUI control, right? Notice that I've got to add a control to the GUI, right, to do that. What is it that I put in here to make it go? Does anyone remember? Come on, take a risk, guys. This is where you're going to have to do it on the exam. Okay, if you have to look it up, look it up. Tell me what to do. I'm going to start with the guys in the corner. Ryan, what are you going to do? How do you set up this? This is part of your exam. Huh? What was that? Oh, I'm going to go to my control object. That's very good. That's the first thing I'd probably do. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to go back to my object. So here's my, under objects, here's my control class. Okay, what do I put in here? Okay, well, I don't care about rotation right now, but let's just suppose we leave it in for now, okay? Right? Let's just leave my rotation speed there for a second. What's putting my instance variable that I put in there, right? Okay, Boolean, okay, sure, okay, so let's do that. So I'm going to do a public, and it's going to be of type Boolean. What am I going to call this thing? Oh, come on. Go down, right? Go down. And it's going to be of type Boolean, right? Okay, here's my Boolean go down. I also want to kind of take in my rotation speed as a default, and then my go down value, right? So, hey, oh man, what am I doing here over and over again? Should I do it this way or should I do it another way? Let's do it the other way, which means if I'm just doing straight up, I might as well just take these two values here, right, and put them inside my constructor, right? Because this is the quick way. This is the new way of doing it with TypeScript, right? And all I have to do is one of these, right? And now I've got all this. I don't even need public variables up here at all, right? I already have them. That's what that does. Okay, cool. So that's all. This is what this is. So this remember is equivalent of, you know, rotation speed is equal to rotation speed. This dot rotation speed is equal to rotation speed. And this dot go down is equal to go down, right? Okay, so I do want to do something with my constructor though. I want the default, right? My default of my Boolean value to be false, right? So what do I do that? Well, I would set that up when I declare, when I create my control, right? So I wouldn't do it here. This is okay. I'm going to kind of save that, and I'm going to go back out to my core. And in here where it says 0.05, and I'm going to make this false, right? So that's the default. That's how I would do it. So now my values are there. How do I make it so that it becomes true? So when I click onto it, now I'm moving, right? Go down is true, right? How do I do that in my controls? Here's my controls. I'm going to put this back inside for now. So my rotation speed, we're not doing anything with it right now, but I'll put it in. And notice that my rotation speed, it latches on to a property, right? Rotation speed, right? And it goes from minus 0.5 to 0.5, right? Minus 0.5 to 0.5. Now, how do I do that for a Boolean in that GUI? What do I put in here for the next line? So let's type it together. So here's my control, what it's going to look like. And remember, when I click onto it, it does something, right? What do I do? Help me out here. GUI.add. Okay, that's the easy part. Okay, now my control object is what I'm going to call it, right? Because that's now what do I put in here? Now it says prop name, right? Prop name, which is of course the go down. If that was going to follow the thing, now is that enough? Right? What about if I go comma? There's some other options here. I have my status, right? Is Boolean. I can add that, and there's other kind of constructor values too. Some items, string, that's a prop name and items, right, in a string value. I also have another items array. I can do that. And I have an items object. I can put an object in there. Those are my options, right? So a prop name with a string, one that has a min and max number. That's what that's what I have up here for rotation, right? And then I have a status, Boolean, right? Status, that's a Boolean, right? So, okay, so what do I put in here to make it go? Come on, guys. So just do one of these. So just go status true. 0, 1. Okay. If I do that, I mean, that will set it because true and false is 0 and 1, right? But that means that I can go from 0 to 1. I could have a slider that goes from 0 to 1. How do I click onto it and something happens? There's a thing that we added in. We're missing a piece. Huh? A listener, okay. But how do I do that? Remember there was a, what do you put in it? Dot, okay. And if I put on here, look, there's on change, on finish change, remove, set value, right? I can set value too, right? Step, there's a bunch of different ones. So is it on change? If I put on change, now what do I put in there? It says a value. What's on change? I mean, I don't want to do this, by the way. This is wrong, right? So on change, do what? What do I want to do on change? Well, I want to set the value to false or to true, right? But I also want to do something else. Remember, on change can also be a function that I can run, right? I can run a function here. Can I do one of these? Can I do like a function with like an anonymous function like this? Can I do one of those? Is that possible on change, right? So if that's true, when I change something, if I click onto it, on change is one thing, but I'm just saying, you know, I don't know what this is going to do yet. But let's just say I want to make my control object, which is if, I'm going to make it say that, I mean, if control, right, dot go down, if that's already true, right, then I want to make it false, right, so then control dot go down is equal to, go down is equal to false, right, and if it's false, else, right, if it's the other one, if it's already false, I want to make it true, control dot go down is equal to true. Oh man, this is a perfect case for my ternary operator, right? I'm just saying from a you know a functionality perspective. What's the ternary operator and how do I use it here instead of if control down, control dot go down, then set my control down to false or true. Well, let's write this down like this. It would be one of these, right? It'd be like, so my control down then control dot go down, right? And then I have a value, so it equals to, depending on whether it's true or false, because remember it's a true or false value, right? I want to make the ternary operator, so I'm going to say equals to, right? And depending on what it is, I can say something like control down, right? And if it's true, right, if it's true, then send in false, and otherwise send in true. And the otherwise would be the colon, right? That's the ternary operator, right? One line. They'll do the same thing as all these lines, right? So it says, hey, take control down, and whatever the value of control down is, if it's true, right, then make it false. If otherwise, make it true. So it's going to toggle one to the other. Every time I click on it, it'll toggle it. So I can move down, stop, move down, stop, move down, stop, right? So that's one thing I can do. So I can get rid of all this. Okay, so that's what this does. Now that's assuming that my value, when my onChange function, this onChange is correct. Okay, let's just see if that's true. So if I save it now to test that out, right? Go back here. Well, there's go down, right? So if I click this, well, I can't click this, right? I can do this. This doesn't do anything yet, but this doesn't work on change. And I can't change this value from 0 to 1, right? How do I change it? Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, look it up. Good .GUI. I want to use a Boolean on .GUI, guys. You have to do this on the test, right? Something else. Do something else. Press a button, right? Make a button. How do I do that? So I mean, I'm doing go down, and you're telling me something else, right? This is saying, you know, go down, click on this, and go down, right? So what is the actual thing I need to do? So I can't give it all to you because you need to know this. So you won't be able to do this, you know, on the exam. You're gonna have a problem. And this is like, let's say, the other half. See the first half, which is modeled, the putting things on the screen. This is the second half. In the second half, you're like, no, I don't know what to do, right? Come on, look it up. You guys got time right now. This is the perfect time to practice. And then tell me what to do up here. I'm gonna ask the people in the back over there in the corner because they're being quiet, right? And he's smiling. He knows what I'm talking about, right? Tell me, buddy, what do I do? What's my code? He's shaking his head. So that's what you do in the exam? Shake your head? No. Oh, you look it up. Come on. How about our smart people up front here? Hello. I want to click on a button. That's what I said. And as soon as I click on the button, I want it to go down. Ah, that's a different thing. You guys said on change, right? So let's go back. So do I have to add it on change, or changes to listen? Or what do I do? How do I reformat this thing? It's almost there anyway, right? At the end over here. Okay. So listen, okay, and then like that. Next. I like your idea. That's called method chaining. We're trying to do here. Yeah. Okay. And now, can I put anything in there? All right. Let's see if that works. So save that, and then go over to my my try, and now I got both those two things. I got this one, and I got this one, but this one, look how it changed, right? So I went like this, and then I can toggle it on and off, right? But I don't need this one anymore, right? I don't need both, right? I just need one. You almost did it, right? So how do I get rid of it? How do I chain both together? Okay, and put the function inside there. Okay, let's try that out. So I'm gonna take this function out, and I don't know. I'm just telling you. I'm doing what you're telling me to do, right? Okay, so that didn't work. Can I do the other way around? Can I do .listen then .onChange? That I can do, right? And then maybe I can put the function inside there and then kill the other one with that. So I'll do blah, 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 .onChange. I can do this kind of stuff. Save. What? Not complicated at all. That's what I'm saying. It's really quite easy, right? Okay, cool. So now I can, hey, wait a minute. How come it's not working still? How come my .change was working before, but now not? Huh? back to the drawing board, right? I like your thinking, though. This is good. This is good. This is a good thing, right? This control down, by the way, this function does work. We know that, right? But we can't change anything. So listen, and then on change. We can't do it like this, right? What's the other one we can do? Right? Let's try it over here. Let's assume that this was it, like this. So if I was going to go to fire, destroy, get value, listen, min, on change, on finish change, remove, set value, right? So I can set value to a positive or negative. So if I was going to do that and see what the option is here, it says set value, value any to rotation speed. That would be if I want to set the value to whatever. When I clicked onto it, and listen, and then on change, set the value to whatever I have, right? Set the value to control.go down. Right, so I could do that, set value, right? I'm showing you what else you can change, right? Okay, so I'm gonna emulate what you do. Okay, so I'm gonna go, I don't know what to do, right? So I'll say .GUI, add a button, right? So JavaScript is possible to create a button. Here's my .GUI workshop, and then it gives me some examples of add. Here's my message, my speed, my display outline. Okay, display outline, which is something of a function, right? That's what this does, a function, right? To display the outline, right? And then my explode, right? That's what this does. Okay, cool. That's, okay, let's go to the next one. And let's take a look at this thing. Noise, min, 0 step is 0.25, mix and match, right? Here we are. And I can see I have a constraint, add text, pizza, Chrome, and hooray to my message, right? Here's my message, pizza constraints. I can do those things from a value perspective, right? So it kind of is cool. Folders, it talks about how to do folders here, right? Here's my folders. Remember I did the whole add folder and then added these to the folder as opposed to the GUI control itself. Color controls, right? Saving values, minimum size, speed, message, saving, right? Presets, right? For different things, for noise, a maximum size, custom placement, all right? Good, updating the control. This is what it's updating as we go. This is changing. Noise strength, and it goes back. So I don't know, it doesn't show you how to do that here, right? Okay, we're getting closer. I mean, .GUI.min.js and .GUI.js does that. So add a button, .GUI. Right, okay, so we got that one. Okay, we go to the Google code, and we got fuzzy text, speed, noise strength, a display outline, and an explode, where it says .name explode, specify a custom name, saving your parameters, choosing from a list of values, listen for variable changes inside the GUI. Come on, guys. Okay, no one else? I need some other people from down here. You're going to be stuck on the exam to do this. Come on, actually, I've given you examples all up on GitHub, right? There's tons of examples on GitHub. From lesson 1 all the way to lesson 6, there's different kind of .GUIs that I used, right, through the whole time, right? Let me show you that. So if I go to COMP392, right, for lesson 1, I have COMP392 lesson 1, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, a bunch of them in here, right? And if you look at some of these examples, right, if I was to run this example here, right, no .GUI. Okay, cool. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to number 5, right? There's a .GUI with a bouncing ball. We did this bouncing ball stuff, controls, right? And then in lesson 2, here's my code archive for lesson 1, right? So let's go to lesson 2, right? Here's part 1. And let's run this one. I'm just running right off the thing here. Oh, look at this. Add cube. Here's a good example of a button, right? Add cube, remove cube, output. I'm gonna add a cube, and as I click things, So let's take a look. So if I go back there to compare, to give something that that we look at, right? Here's my game.ts. Let's take a look. That'll open it up with another type of thing altogether. Let's open it up with. Actually, I'll look it up with JavaScript. I'll open it up with brackets really quickly. so we can see another editor, just because. Okay, and let's take a look at that GUI. So here's our game loop, and look at how we have rotation and add cube. Look, we're calling the add cube something, and here number of objects listen. We're listening for a number of objects. This is where the listen comes into play. But my add cube is here, and in order for me to see what that is, how to do add cube, if you look at my objects under my control, here's my control. I'll actually open this up in thing as well. So see it in pure JavaScript here. There we go. Sorry guys, but you know, I mean, you're gonna have to find it somewhere, right? These are all up online, by the way, all these examples, right? Okay, so here's my control. My control is a little more complex. I have rotation speed, number of objects, my plane width and plane height, and I have some an add cube method. This is my add cube method here. And what it does is, when I do that, it fires this method, which does what I want it to do, right? That's how it works. That's the simplest way of making a button, right? So that would be where the toggle goes into play. Okay, cool, that's easy. So let's go back to my code here and make that happen. So I want to do this, but I don't want to do it in here. I just want to do one of these. I want to kill all this, right? Actually, I'll take my function, this whole line here. I'll take this line here. Cut this out for a second. We'll do it in a couple steps. Go to my control.ts. In here, inside my constructor, make something called, instead of go down being a Boolean, well, that's cool, but that's not what I really want, right? That's not what I really want. I could keep this go down method here, and that's okay. Go down is cool, but I could say something like, you know, change, you know, or speed change, or whatever you want to call it. Tower move. Tower move. There we go. Tower move. Public. And I'll call this tower move, right? This is another function that I'm going to use, right? And inside my function, I'm going to pop in this stuff. I don't need this piece. Okay, so it's not a function within a function, right? And I want to say instead of my control down, it's going to be my this dot go down. So this dot go down is equal to this dot go down, true or false. That's what it's going to change. Whenever I click this button, it's going to change the go down value. If it's true, it's going to go false. If it's false, it's going to go true. Maybe I'll call this, instead of toggle move, I'll call this thing toggle, which makes more sense, right? That's more of a reasonable name for it, and it's called toggle, lowercase, right? Okay, cool. I've saved this. I'm going to go back to my game.ts file, and in here, instead of go down, we're going to call this toggle, right, and get rid of all this, right? As I say, if this is the way it would work, right? So let's go back to this, get rid of all this, and we don't need any of this, and we have a toggle. And now when we click onto this, we can't see the effects. So let's just do one more thing here in our code. So in my control.ts, let's do a control or console.log, sorry, console.log, and we're going to say this dot go down. There we go. So it's going to print out that whatever it is in the console, just to see if it's true or false, right? That's all we're doing here. Let's go back out, and it's already refreshed. But let's just show you in the inspector that it's doing that. So here's my console, and if I click this, then I should see true or false. See how it's toggling? This is good. And now I want it to move down. So if it's true, I want it to move down 0.1. Now we don't have a speed here, but I could have added that in, right? So let's just go back. Sorry, I'm running out of time. That's why I'm talking so quickly. But I'm going to go back to game.ts. Inside my game loop is where I'm going to do this thing before my request animation frame, because this is where all the animation takes place. So I'm going to say something like this: my tower, right? Dot set tower dot position dot set, and we're going to say set y, because that's all we care about moving. And it's going to go down. What's down? Is it a minus, right? So it's going to be minus 0.1, but we want it to say that it's minus equal to thing. So maybe we have to use the y value just by y, like this, is minus equal to 0.1, right? That's where it's going to happen, but it's only going to happen if my control dots go down, right? That's what's going to happen here. So otherwise, it won't do anything, right? Otherwise, it won't move at all. So there it is. Otherwise, if my control dot go down is not equal to true, it's not going to move, right? Now, my tower.position.y minus equal to 0.1, let's see if that even works, because that might not work because of the way it works, right? We may have to add a vector and keep track of a vector and all this kind of stuff, right? Let's go back to this thing and click on the toggle value, and then we stop. Toggle, stop, right? Huh? Didn't take much. Guys, the truth is out there if you're willing to find it, right? X-Files, right? But all I'm saying is it's not so difficult to figure this stuff out. That's why I'm doing this review with you, because you're going to get to the exam, and some of you aren't going to know how to do this stuff, and you're going to go, oh, damn, remember what Tom said? There's a ton of examples up online. Search my GitHub, right? There's tons of stuff up there. It's okay to figure it out and figure out what I did, okay? Guys, good luck on your exam. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Take care.